Hello, and welcome back to another episode of NOTaR. So, we're getting there to the end of this exhaust series. So, you've obviously already seen the comparison video of the noises, but this is how you're going to install the actual exhaust itself. So, we've got a quad tip, slanted angled back box from a Remus, and we're going to install it on the back. So, I went for a Remus system, but the reason why I went for it is look at these bad boys. Look at that. How nice are they? So you got these little hangers to install. So I put the nut, then the crush nut or the spring nut, and then a washer. The same on this side. Make sure they're nice and loose so you can get it up there, and then once it's up there we can tighten it up. So the first step after getting your rear diffuser off is to jack up your car. Then you want to lay out your exhaust underneath your existing exhaust and make sure that the hangers match up and that the pipe coming out of the back box lines up with where your pipe is on your standard exhaust, because obviously you don't want to cut anything if it isn't going to fit. So from the instructions, the Remus back box has a clamp which is supposed to clamp over the original exhaust. So basically you want to make sure that you line it up so you're not cutting too far or too far back, because otherwise that may be very problematic when you go to install it. So my personal recommendation is do not use power tools at all, because this was the biggest pain in the entire world. Okay, just go to Halfords or wherever and get an exhaust cutting tool where you just sort of rotate it around and it just cuts the whole way through. I had a problem basically where the back of it was really hard to reach with the power tools, so it just became so difficult. Honestly, definitely would not recommend. Just get an exhaust cutting tool because they're not even that dear and it is so much easier. Okay, so disc cutter, phone, bloody saw, but I've mutilated the pipe, but I have got it off. So now to get this out of the way, off those hangers, so we can find out how long it actually needs to be. I did spray the hangers with WD-40 because it made it a bit easier to get them out. I also used a screwdriver just to basically break the grimy seal that was holding it in there. But just be careful not to obviously pierce the rubber with your screwdriver. You just want to be basically rummaging it around to make sure that it's not suctioned in there. So with that side done, now we're going to work on the other side.
A few moments later.
Out with the old and in with the new. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to get this under the car, see how much more we need to trim back, and then we'll go from there. So the next step is you want to get it up and into position so you can slot it over the existing exhaust pipe, and you can obviously make sure that the hangers line up to where they're supposed to. So I did this very scientifically and used a concrete block. So first thing, you want to make sure you leave everything loose. So I put it to its high settings, which would be the lowest that the exhaust could hang, and then tightened it up just enough to stop the spring nut from undoing, so that then I could hang it and then I can adjust the height later on. These rubber exhaust hangers, I guess, are pretty tough, but then I guess they are the only thing holding your exhaust to your car. So just be a bit delicate with them, but a bit firm because, yeah, obviously they're rubber, so they're going to be super grippy. I did WD the hanger on the exhaust just to try and get it so it could slip in a bit easier. Now, I also struggled a lot with this, trying to get a good seal on the exhaust because it basically ended up leaking slightly. Despite the clamp being as tight as I possibly could, I tried a load of different arrangements and I found that the best one was that I took the clamp right to the edge of where that overlap is and tightened it as much as I could. But I still ended up with a slight leak, so I ended up using some Holt's exhaust paste to then seal it off completely. So the final step is to raise and lower your exhaust tips. So what you do is you just undo that bolt and then raise it or lower it and then just tighten it in the position that you want. I can't do that right now because I've got to cut the diffuser, which will be the next episode. But I would recommend leaving a 1 centimeter gap at minimum between your diffuser and your exhaust tips. And that concludes today's episode, guys. So I struggled. I struggled with cutting it. I should have just bought an exhaust cutter, to be honest. It would have made a much cleaner cut. But yeah, I mean, I think it went well. It sits great and it sounds pretty good as well, as we know. So now we just got to cut the diffuser and then make it look top tier. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. Please like and leave a comment down below and subscribe for more content. We've got a lot of Scirocco videos coming up. So if you enjoyed it, please watch some of my other videos. We've got plenty of Scirocco stuff. Got the Plymouth as well. So see you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.